were hit while crossing the road. The road was later closed after the local residents demanded an underpass be built in this accident-prone area. Police has arrested the auto driver alias Raju Abai in the case of molestation of a woman in Thane, district of Maharashtra. The Thane police team stated that the victim was in fact on her way to college when the auto driver standing on the road passed some remarks against her and later pulled her into the auto rickshaw. A case has been registered against the accused in this matter.
जिला में रिक्शा चालक था, रिक्शा चालक ने मेरे साथ अश्लील शब्द और शुक करके आवाज़ देने की कोशिश की। फिर उसके बाद में उसकी रिक्शा थी मार्टे एंड सन के सामने, उसने रिक्शा को चाबी लगाई, रिक्शा चालू किया। उसके बाद में चालू करने के बाद वो मेरे को पकड़ के कम से कम 20 मीटर लेके घसड़ते हुए लेके गया।
What clearly is yet another attack on minorities in Kashmir. Terrorists have shot dead Kashmiri Pandit in Shopian. The victim has been identified as Puran Krishan Bhatt. He was murdered while he was with his family in their orchard. Bhatt was shifted to a nearby hospital where he unfortunately succumbed to his injuries. The terror outfit Kashmir Freedom Fighters has taken responsibility for this murder. Security forces have cordoned off the area and a massive manhunt has been launched to track the killers. The final rites will be conducted of the victim in Jammu tomorrow.
You'll see some of really the family members crying and very inconsolable because of this tragic incident. Ironically, this is not the first incident which one has witnessed here in the Shopian. In fact, this is the third incident that has taken place as we speak.
Hello and welcome to Sensational South. I'm Harish Upadhyaya. Over the next 30 minutes, we bring you all the major news and newsmakers from South India. Our top story today comes from Karnataka, where the Supreme Court this week delivered a split verdict in the hijab matter. While one judge upheld the Karnataka High Court order banning the hijab in schools and colleges, on the other, the second judge said that asking girls to remove hijab while going to colleges and schools is an attack on their dignity. So what does this verdict mean for the hijab matter, which has been rocking the state for the last 10 months or so? We'll debate that, but first the report.
There is no end to the hangama over hijab. 7 months after the Karnataka High Court upheld a government order banning hijab in educational institutes. Petitions challenging the hijab ban led to a split verdict in the Supreme Court. While one judge, Justice Hemant Gupta, dismissed the petitions, the other judge, Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia, was of a differing opinion. He said asking girls to take off their hijab is an attack on their privacy and dignity. He said that under the Indian constitutional scheme, wearing a hijab should be simply a matter of choice. It may or may not be a matter of essential religious practice, but it is still a matter of conscience, belief and expression. He said the government order and restrictions on hijab goes against value of fraternity and human dignity. The case has also to be seen in the perspective of the challenges already faced by a girl child in reaching her school. And are we making the life of a girl child any better by denying her education merely because she wears a hijab?
प्राइम मिनिस्टर से सबसे पहले मैं ये अपील करना चाहूँगी कि वो हमारे एजुकेशन को हम पे छोड़ दें और हमारे हिजाब को उसमें कोई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ना बने हमारा हिजाब, क्योंकि देखिए हिजाब हमारा राइट है और हमें इसको फॉलो करना है.
The matter will now be placed before the Chief Justice of India, who will constitute a larger bench to hear the case afresh. Till then, the hijab ban remains in place.
I expect the judgment. Definitely it will be in favor of Karnataka's rules and act. Whatever the rules and regulations which have been followed now will be valid till the judgment of the higher bench comes.
But many in the opposition are hoping for a more favourable order from a larger bench.
जो हाई कोर्ट का जजमेंट था मेरी राय में it was bad in law, bad in terms of its contents, or it had misused Quranic commentaries and translation. This has serious ramifications and should not have been allowed.
As the legal battle drags on, petitioners feel the split verdict is a shot in the arm for them, since it's the first time that their arguments have been accepted.
Well, the petitioners believe that the split verdict in a way is a shot in the arm for them. We'll discuss this. We have an esteemed panel joining us today. We have Dr. Bharat Shetty, who is a Mangalore North MLA, joining us. We also have Mr. Shafiullah, who is an Islamic scholar and associated with the JDS. I'll come to you, Dr. Shetty, first. The petitioners believe that the fact that at least one judge, in a way, agree with their argument that this is about choice, this is about dignity. Do you believe that they see some positive from this verdict? How does the government see this?
As the Supreme Court's verdict is considered, we'll welcome whatever the verdict the Supreme Court gives us, and whatever the legal relief we can get from the Supreme Court, we'll go after it. That's we welcome whatever the judgment they're going to give. We don't have no qualms about it, and we are hoping that we are expecting the CJA to intervene, and obviously there will be a constitutional bench will be handling this, and I think justice will be served to the word uniformity.
Mr. Shafiullah, although the petitioners say that some of these comments are in their favor, at least observations made by Justice Dhulia, you also have to take into account the kind of observations made by Justice Gupta as well. He says just because something is written in a holy scripture, that can't be an essential religious practice. Isn't it a setback if a larger bench also, in a way, accepts those arguments or even the observations made in his judgment?
More than that, let us go into the history of how it all started. I want to take you when it started. There was a protest by the VHP and Bajrang Dal boys who were supported by BJP in the educational institutions where the girls were wearing the hijab for hundreds of years. And they were studying there and wearing the hijab, which is of the color of the uniform, similar to the color of the uniform. And there was no objection from any quarter, including the administration of the colleges or the public or the other students of the college. All of a sudden, after the BJP has come to power in Karnataka, few boys started agitating and demanding that the removal of hijab. At that point of time, it was the duty of the government or the police or the administration of the college to reprimand the boys who had nothing to do anywhere, who had no business in the girls wearing of hijab. There it all started. Once those boys have started...
in fact, Mr. Shafiullah, the government has produced in the Karnataka High Court photographs showing that some of these girls were not wearing hijab when they were in the college premises earlier, much before the controversy started sometime late December last year.
Yeah, I am trying to tell the same thing. After the boys have agitated, the government has come into the picture by supporting the boys and bringing in a rule where to remove the hijab and come to the college without hijab to all the girls. And this is one can understand the agenda of the BJP. And what happens to the other boys when the Muslim girls wear the hijab and come to the college? I don't understand. And where there is a rule of wearing the uniform, and they are using the same color hijab, and it has not come in the way of any other person's education.
No, but Mr. Shafiullah, neither the Karnataka High Court nor the Supreme Court has brought this argument that none of those courts have said, in fact, that they see a political conspiracy here. In fact, the Karnataka High Court said that there were unseen hands and the Karnataka government should act on it.
See, unseen hands are there between the government of Karnataka and the boys who have agitated in the colleges. And those unseen hands has to be seen, and unseen intentions and unseen agenda of these groups which are agitating against the wearing of the hijab, and the support the government, Karnataka government has rendered to those boys by asking the girls to remove the hijab. There, another thing is, when the girls advocate went to the court, the government also has taken the side of the boys. And the boys who have agitated in the colleges, they have never come to the court, and they have now never been represented. The government itself has represented those boys. This shows very well how partisan this government's agenda and intentions are. and be the citizens of India, the Muslims
Dr.
of
Shetty,
India.
Dr.
and
Shetty,
the
how would you
girls.
respond to that? Whether it's the opposition or the petitioners constantly saying that this government did not act in a fair manner, it acted in a partisan manner.
Yeah, he has got to the point directly. Let me also get to the point. First thing is, as you said and as you have observed, the same girls, we have proof, the same girls used to come to the same college, same institution without wearing hijab at all. Then in that school, there was no issue, no problem with this hijab stuff. Only a few girls, or 2-3 girls, or maybe more, not more than 5 girls, started this issue. This is not only the boys. The panelists was telling that the boys, Vishwa and the Parishad boys, Bajrangar boys, it's false. All the students of that college and the neighboring college, including girls, boys and girls, started protesting after that, because they said once you leave all this, you make all this legal, then all the religion, from people from other religions will wear their things and come to the school, and it is against the ethos of the word uniformity. And as far as the government is considered, government took a stand about the uniform issues, and it stood with a stand. It is not about supporting boys, girls, and all those things. It is about getting uniformity in the educational institutions. Just see what's happening in Iran. 300 years ago, Iran was a free country. Iran was a free country in the sense people could wear what they want, do what they want, practice what they want. Since 300 years, they started with hijab, burqa, and now there is no body part, no skin part left in the body which is not covered. Socks, shoes, gloves, everything is covered now. Now what has happened? The whole of the Iran, the whole of the women in the Iran are protesting, and they are on the streets. This is what these people are trying to get into India. See, in Afghanistan also, same issue.
Okay.
They said Sharia. These students have to wear hijab. Forget going to school. They are not allowed to school. They are allowed to go to school only. So this religion should not be brought
This is an argument that's been made by many people, not just the BJP or the government here. I'll take that to Mr. Shafiullah. Mr. Shafiullah, as a community, when do you believe that the community wants to, in a way, be progressive, get rid of some of these practices? Many are saying an Islamic country like Iran wants to get rid of it. Why should we impose it or bring it in Karnataka or in India? The second point that many are making is that when do we see reforms? Even if you are just looking at from India's point of view.
Mr. Harish, your question shows very clearly, you could have easily asked when we will become Hindus and Christians. We want to remain Muslims. What is the problem with that?
No.
And progress means...
There's a very clear question that I'm asking.
Please let me
Many from within the community also believe it's time to reform.
My dear sir, reform in the way BJP and RSS wants us to reform. Why they should be, are they our masters? We Indian Muslims, we know our religion very well, and we know how to practice the religion, and we know what our girls should wear, and we know how our girls should get education. Why these people are causing hurdles into the education of our children, our girls, by raising the hijab
My
issue,
final question, Mr. Shafiullah, there's a fear that if this is allowed, we'll end up in an Iran-like situation. How would you respond to that?
Why?
RSS or BJP is not present there.
I don't understand. I have a question to Mr. Bharat Shetty. I want to ask Mr. Bharat Shetty, how come those girls wearing the hijab comes in the way of Mr. Bharat Shetty's life or his boy's life who have agitated in the colleges? That is one. Another thing is, one more thing I want to tell you is, see, we know how to practice our religion. We are not copying either Iran or Iraq, and we cannot copy them in anything. Islam is very clear. Anybody can read and
don't make it a public affair
and follow.
All right. I'm absolutely out of time. I would like to thank Dr. Bharat Shetty and Dr. Shafiullah as well for joining us on the show today. Now, our other top story comes from Kerala, where 2 women were brutally tortured and killed in a shocking case of human sacrifice. Now, the question is, did Kerala government's failure to bring in a law against superstition and such practices result in this? My colleague, Neetu Regukumar, brings us this report.
Grisly, spine-chilling, macabre. Can't even begin to describe this shocker from Kerala's Pathanamthitta. 3 people tortured and killed 2 women. The victims, Rosalind and Padma, were tied up, choked, their private parts were cut and bodies chopped up into 56 pieces and then buried. If that's not gruesome enough, the killers possibly ate their flesh in human sacrifice. The main accused, Muhammad Shafi, convinced a couple, Bhagaval Singh and Leila, to perform the human sacrifice to end their financial problems.
ഞായറാഴ്ച വൈകിട്ട് വിളിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ എന്നോട് ചോദിച്ചു ഇന്നമാതിരി ഭഗത് സിംഗ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹം തന്നെയാണ് എൻ്റെ നമ്പർ കൊടുത്തത്. ആദ്യം അദ്ദേഹത്തെ വിളിച്ചിട്ടാണ് എന്നെ വിളിച്ചത്. അപ്പോൾ പുള്ളി പറഞ്ഞു CCTV ക്യാമറ ഉള്ള വീട് അടുത്തുണ്ടോ എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു. ഉണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. എൻ്റെ പേര് പറഞ്ഞു. എൻ്റെ നമ്പറും പുള്ളി ഓർത്തു. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ ശേഷം അവിടെ നിന്ന് NSA വിളിച്ചു. അപ്പോൾ വിളിച്ചിട്ട് എന്നോട് ചോദിച്ചു.
Police have described Shafi as a sexual pervert and are also looking into complaints of missing women in the past 5 years to see if he's involved.
Motive for the main accused, Shafi, is he's a sexual pervert basically, because in this murder there is an element of gruesome, sadistic injuries made on the body. So it indicates a sexual perversion and psychopathic kind of behavior on the part of A1 Shafi.
Shafi used to scour the internet for his victims. He used a fake Facebook profile in the name of a woman and got in touch with Bhagaval Singh more than a year and a half ago. Shafi introduced himself as Rashid and convinced the couple to perform the human sacrifice for the sake of financial prosperity.
An investigation into a missing complaint by Kadavandra police has brought out the details of human sacrifice and horrific murder of 2 women. Police is also investigating if there are more victims of the main accused Shafi. With video journalist Ablash MS in Patnamthitta, Neetu Raghukumar.
Well, time for a quick break now. On the other side, we'll get you other major stories from South India.
The incident took place after the vehicle owner declined to pay toll, resulting in a brawl. A case has been filed against the miscreants by the Banganga police after the incident was recorded on the CCTV.
SLV गाड़ी आई और उसका जो चालक था वो टोल ना देने पे अड़ा हुआ था कि मैं ग्राम अलवासा पास का ही रहने वाला हूँ, जो कि उसके 3 किलोमीटर परिधि में आता है। वो उसने कहा कि मैं यहीं गांव अलवासा का हूँ, मैं टोल नहीं दूंगा। तो उन्होंने बोला कि आप अपने ID बता दीजिए ताकि इसे तस्दीक हो कि आप अलवासा के रहने वाले हैं। कुछ टाइम बाद में वो जो वाहन चालक था वो अपने साथियों के साथ में आया और टोल नाके पर तोड़फोड़ की।
A 14-year-old girl was found injured in a village field near Nagra police station area in the Balia district of Uttar Pradesh. The girl was later sent to Varanasi for medical treatment. The victim's family says that the girl went to see the fair last evening and did not return, and they are alleging that she has been molested. Police has arrested 2 people and are questioning. A mother and her daughter died after being hit by an ambulance in West Bengal's Howrah district. According to police, the victims were hit while crossing the road. The road was later closed after the local residents demanded an underpass be built in this accident-prone area. Police has arrested the auto driver alias Raju Abai in the case of molestation of a woman in Thane district of Maharashtra. The Thane police team stated that the victim was in fact on her way to college when the auto driver standing on the road passed some remarks against her and later pulled her into the auto rickshaw. A case has been registered against the accused in this matter.
जिला में रिक्शा चालक था, रिक्शा चालक ने मेरे साथ अश्लील शब्द और शुक शुक करके आवाज़ देने की कोशिश की। फिर उसके बाद में उसकी रिक्शा थी मार्टेन सन के सामने, उसने रिक्शा को चाबी लगाई, रिक्शा चालू किया। उसके बाद में चालू करने के बाद वो मेरे को पकड़ के कम से कम 20 मीटर लेके घसड़ते हुए लेके गया।
What clearly is yet another attack on minorities in Kashmir. Terrorists have shot dead Kashmiri Pandit in Shopian. The victim has been identified as Puran Krishan Bhatt. He was murdered while he was with his family in their orchard. Bhatt was shifted to a nearby hospital where he unfortunately
Welcome back. Time now for a quick roundup of what else is making news here down south.
MK Stalin launched a scathing attack on the central government, warning the BJP-led government to not force another language war by imposing Hindi. This came after reports that the Parliamentary Committee on Official Languages had in its report submitted to the President that Hindi should be used as a medium of instruction instead of English in central universities and Kendra Vidyalayas. A statue of Dr. M.G. Ramachandran was vandalized in a village in Kadalur district. Probe is underway, but the police officials are finding it difficult to identify miscreants as no CCTV cameras have been installed in and around the area where the incident took place. Meanwhile, ADMK functionaries gathered in huge numbers demanding that those who are involved in vandalism be arrested at the earliest. This is the second time that such an incident has taken place. The earlier one took place in Chennai's Thenampet area. Hundreds participated in the communal harmony human chain protest that was held earlier this week, and this was headed by VCK Chief Tiruma Vallavan, who is also an ally of the DMK. Many parties, many activists also participated in this human chain protest, and this protest was against the RSS. Their message was that they will not allow division agenda in Tamil Nadu.
News updates from Andhra Pradesh, where heavy rains since the last 1 week has brought Anantapur on to its knees. More than 500 families stand affected. Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy has announced a financial assistance of 2,000 rupees to each and every flood-affected household. A survey is also being taken up. Amid strong opposition to the 3 Capital Bill in Vizag, the YSR Congress have now embarked on Vishaka Garjana rally to raise awareness on why 3 capitals is a necessity, and with a special focus that Vizag should be made the capital. Jagan Mohan Reddy has made it very clear that he is going to develop Amravati as well and ensure a holistic development of all districts in the state of Andhra Pradesh. But the opposition is not buying that argument. Even as the loan app scam continues to claim more lives across the country, here's another shocking Chinese investment fraud that has come to light from Hyderabad. The Hyderabad police busted a 903 crore investment fraud, arresting 10 persons, including 2 foreign nationals, including a Chinese and a Taiwanese national. The modus operandi is simple. They would collect all the Hawala money through fraudulent apps, including the loan apps, and then using 2 RBI approved money exchangers, they would convert the money into US dollars and then siphon it abroad through Hawala transactions. Now, this entire operation is just the tip of the iceberg, says the Hyderabad Police Commissioner. Listen in.
Now we have 10 people arrested, out of which 2 are, one is a Taiwanese national who operates through China and Cambodia, and he's the main kingpin in India. Then we have another, he's operating in Delhi. He was got from the IB detention center.
Even as the political temperatures continue to soar, courtesy the Munugodu by-poll scheduled on the 3rd of November, here the TRS has taken it up on itself to counter the central government on every single issue. So after Pinarayi Vijayan, MK Stalin, now KT Rama Rao, Telangana's IT minister, has waded into the language debate, accusing the central government of Hindi position and saying that it violates the federal structure of the country.
Yet another FIR registered against Chitradurga Chief Seer Shivamurthy Muruga Sharanaru for allegedly sexually harassing 2 minor girls at Mutt Hostel. Complaint was registered by the mother of 2 minor girls with the help of the Mysuru-based NGO Vodanadi Seva Samaste on Thursday. Karnataka's former CM Siddharamaiah in a trouble. Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson N.R. Ramesh has registered a complaint against former CM Siddharamaiah, accusing him of denotifying the government property of worth 200 crore, which was back then in Bengaluru's Lal Bagh in 2014. Along with former CM, 2 other Bengaluru Development Authority officials are also been booked in the case. 10-year-old girl was allegedly raped and murdered by a home tutor in Karnataka's Mandya district.
Incident took place on 11th of October when a minor left her house at around 3 p.m. and did not return back late in the evening. Panicked parents then complained the police, and police during the search found the minor's body in the water sump at a construction site. Police has now arrested the home tuition teacher Kanta Raju and assured justice to the family.
Kerala Police has registered an FIR against Congress MLA Eldos Kunnapalli on charges of rape and assault. Initially, the charges were for outraging the modesty of a woman and for assault, but now charges of rape has also been included. Eldos Kunnapalli has approached the court with an anticipatory bail plea. Opposition leader V.D. Satishan has said that they will not defend this case because this is a serious allegation that has been brought out by a lady, and they have sought for an explanation from the MLA, and action will be taken once they receive the explanation.
We have taken a decision not to defend this case. In our case, this lady is before us with a complaint, with a serious complaint. So we have not taken any steps to defend this case.
Social activist thereby is on an indefinite hunger strike from October 2nd, raising the issues of endosulfan victims in Kasaragod. The main demands include yearly health camps in Kasaragod to find out the new endosulfan victims. For the past 5 years, there have not been health camps that has been conducted. Their demands also include a daycare center for those endosulfan victims who are 18 years and above, so that during the daytime they have some space to be when their caregivers go for their jobs. Also, they are demanding medical facilities, which includes specialist doctors in the hospitals that are there in Kasaragod district.
Now on to some entertainment news. Tamil superstar Dhanush's latest movie Nane Varuvan has been directed by his own brother Selva Raghavan. My colleague Purnima Murli caught up with the filmmaker on this fourth collaboration between the siblings.
Selva sir, thank you so much for talking to CNN News 18. Let me begin by asking you, Nane Varuvan title, take us through the reason behind the title. Is it because of the supernatural element that's involved in the movie?
It's his title, Dhanush's title actually. So when we are discussing like what would be the then he said, okay, I would sacrifice my title to the film. So it's his title.
This is the first time that you're directing a story that's written by Dhanush. Take us through the experience.
It makes a director's job easy. Like I could focus completely on how to convert the scene rather than if you writing also a part of it would be like bombarding in your head. So it'd be easy like when you take it somebody else doing the job and you just convert it.
So what do you think about period era movies? Because in Hollywood we've seen a lot. In India there are many of them now trying to attempt doing period era movies. Is there more scope for indigenous movies going forward, especially in Tamil cinema?
Yeah, it depends. Like first there is only one Ayirathil Oruvan and one PS1. I think a lot of people will take it forward. It's difficult first, and you need like a lot of stars in it, like how PS1 does it, or like who knows, like you can do it with just 3-4 artists. Anything is possible. Depends on the filmmaker's vision and idea. You can do entirely based on. If you want to take it and make it, yeah, why not? Yeah.
Is high budget also one of the reasons why very few
of them? You can do it in a very low budget also. Depends how much you know your craft and your experience also.
Well, that's all we could pack in this edition of Sensational South. We'll be back next week with more stories. Thanks for watching.
The DSP as well as SSP of Shopian had come. The DIG did say that there is a security picket which is in the area, and besides that, beyond that, There's also an army camp, a huge one, some 500 meters from this place where I am standing. But nonetheless, this was an attack which was carried and which resulted in the death of this Kashmiri Pandit.
इतना बड़ा कैंप है, यहाँ मारने आए हैं बंदे को, बेचारे को, हैं? जो घर से निकलते कौन सी सिक्योरिटी, कौन सी आर्मी है हमें? शरीफ बंदा बेचारा इतना बैठा था, उसको बोलिए कौन फौज है यहाँ? करेंगे हम क्या? कहाँ जाएंगे हम मरेंगे यहाँ ही। क्या हमारा ये कश्मीर नहीं है? क्या हमारा घर नहीं है ये?
And soon after the murder of Krishan Bhatt, the Pandit community staged protests in Jammu and in Badgam. They said that the killing was a message to Union Home Minister that everything is not okay in Kashmir. The victim's family, on the other hand, has demanded a speedy justice.
कॉलोनी में जो मुकीम कश्मीरी पंडित है, उन्होंने बाहर निकलकर एहतजाज किया है। ये देखिए, इन्होंने जो ये हमामा बड़गाम रोड है, इसे ब्लॉक किया है। हालांकि मैं आपको बता दूं, इनसे हमने बात करने की कोशिश की, लेकिन कोई बात करने को तैयार नहीं है। इनका साफ कहना था कि कोई इंतज़ामिया की जानिब से इनकी नहीं सुनता है। हालांकि इनके साथ आज तक कई वादे किए गए, लेकिन वादे वफा नहीं हुए। और जिस तरीके से इनके साथ लगातार ये वादे किए जाते हैं और उसके बाद जिस तरह से ये पूरे नहीं होते, तो ये सदियों से चल रहा है और उनको इससे काफ़ी नुकसान हो रहा है।
Former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister and PDP Chief Mehbooba Mufti has condemned the murder of Kishan Bhatt. Mufti said, and I quote her, "It is very horrific incident and Muslims in Valley stand with their Pandit brothers." She also further slammed Union Home Minister Amit Shah for not paying any heed to the demands of justice.
मुसलमानों के साथ जीने मरने का फैसला किया। आज 30-35 साल के बाद उसको निशाना बनाया गया, जबकि यहाँ इतनी सिक्योरिटी है, इतनी आर्मी, इतने फोर्सेस हैं। लोगों को जेलों में डाला जाता है हाइब्रिड मिलिटेंट के नाम पे, लोगों को मुलाजमतों से निकाला जाता है शक की बुनियाद पे, और उसके बावजूद बीजेपी नाकाम हो गई है। यहाँ के जो हमारे
Namaste and welcome to yet another round of conversations when we try and get the perspective, the right perspective behind the work of an author, work of an artist. And in this case, it's this book, The War of Lanka. And the man himself is sitting with us. He's wearing a lot of hats, but this right now, he's busy promoting the book. Namaste and Har Har Mahadev, if I may.
Har Har Mahadev.
Har Har Mahadev.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you in person, Amish. And let me ask you this. You're in India on a very special day, because Mahakal Lok is now, there is a Lokarpan of that the Prime Minister is doing. So as a Shiv Bhakt, before we talk about the Ramchandra series, let me ask you what you think about it. What's your feeling? You've been to Mahakaleshwar.
Yeah. It's a wonderful project, and I had the honor of visiting, roughly around 2 weeks back. I prayed at Mahakaleshwar ji as well. And the work that has been done at Mahakal Lok by the MP government is fantastic. There's a Rudrasagar lake, right next to Mahakaleshwar ji, which has been mentioned in the Puranas. And I've of course been to Mahakaleshwar ji earlier. And it was so sad to see Rudrasagar ji. It was sewage dump, water had dried up to a large extent. It's been revived now. It's all been cleaned up. Many of the, much of the parisar which had a lot of encroachments have all been cleared up, all peacefully. People were given compensation, and they have built, a very nice walkway. There are 4 entries to there. Statues, murtis of Lord Shiva, of his family, of Goddess Parvati, Lord Ganesh, Lord Kartik, everywhere. Parts of, traditional Shaivite legends. So the Tripura Surva, the various others like this, the Sapta Rishi are out there. And it's been done in a proper traditional way, right? So proper stone with, with engravings, the way it would have been done in ancient times. Such a wonderful sight to see, pride, emotions. And as a Shiv Bhakt, at times I actually had tears in my eyes. It was so nice to see. Wonderful work by the MP government, by Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji. I am so delighted that Prime Minister Modi ji has inaugurated it today. All the blessings of Lord Shiva. on them.
Badrinath, Kedarnath,
Ji,
Ayodhya, Kashi Vishwanath,
Ji,
Mahakal.
Yeah.
Do you see the foundations of the rise of Meluha now?
In fact, this is one of the things I discussed in I think in one of my interviews. That these may appear to many like separate, disparate, discrete events, but actually one sees this. If you step back and see it as as a pattern, there are so many temples being revived and all in a grand manner. The only last time this happened, perhaps, was when Ahilyabai Holkar ji, the great Maratha queen, rebuilt so many temples that had been destroyed by invaders earlier.